I am a superhero today. Today I am not Gemma from NLP for Kids. Today I'm Gemma from Superheroes. As you can see, right here. Some of you may remember way back, I was talking about our superheroes training room, and this is it. And I'm thinking I'm going to quite like the lighting down here. I think I might enjoy recording down here again in the future. Anyway, this is an NLP for Kids video, so I don't want to waffle on about superheroes too much. But anyway, we're in the basement making videos. We're making videos. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about how to put bad memories behind you. Now there's a few reasons why it is a good idea to put your bad memories behind you so that you can focus on moving forwards. The bad memory is back there, you don't need to look at it anymore. Think about it this way, if you were, I know you're probably a child, but bear with me. If you were a child, no, not if you were a child, because a child wouldn't be driving a car. I was going to say if you were driving a car, if you're a child, don't drive a car, that's a bad idea. The point is, if you were driving a car and you were looking at the bits that had happened, like the bits you'd already driven past, instead of looking at where you wanted to go, there would be a problem. You would crash. And it's kind of the same in life. In life, it's really important that our focus is on where it is we want to go and not where it is that we've come from. So when we have bad memories from the past that we keep kind of taking from behind us and putting them in our future, it can cause some problems from us. Least of all, the fact that when you keep returning to old bad memories, and I'm not saying that you're doing this on purpose, you know, this is something that feels like it just happens for you, but we're going to get that under control, okay? But when you keep putting the bad memories from the past in front of you, then your future kind of gets shaped by what happened in the past, and that's not okay. It can make it feel as if it's like your expectations of the future are based on the bad stuff that happened in the past. Now, because of the way that your brain works, your brain has like a little radar built into it, so that it will be scanning the world around you to find more of the stuff that you're already thinking about. And if what you're thinking about is bad memories from the past, it's going to be scanning to find more of that in the moment of now and into your future. This is not good for us. So a big part of the reason why we want to stop thinking about stuff from the past that was negative is because we don't want it affecting what happens now and into the future. We don't want to have those same expectations about the future, because when we do, it makes it feel like the world is a very small place when it's not. It's huge. There's tons of different options and possibilities that life can offer you, but if all you're thinking about is the world looks like this, my life looks like this, people act like this around me because of what happened before, then that's all you end up seeing as you move forward. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to change it. That's what we're going to do about it. And here's how. We're going to use a kind of code that you have in your head. This is naturally inbuilt into everybody's brains, and I'm going to tell you how to hack the code. Now, I may have talked to you about this kind of coding stuff before, but I'm going to refresh your memories of it because it's not something you hear about every day, so I need to give you a bit of a refresher so you're clear on what I'm talking about here. All of your memories from the past and stuff that you're thinking of experiencing in the future, when you think about them in your head, have a particular code to them, and the code links to your senses, so your 5 senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling. And each of those each of those individual 5 senses has code that is attached to it. For example, with seeing stuff, there are different ways in which you can see things. You can see things as if they are in black and white, like an old movie, or you can see them as if they are in colour, like real life. You might see an image in your mind of something that happened in the past as being like right up in your face and you're imagining it right there all over again. Or you could see it as something that's happening off in the distance. So there's different ways in which we can see things that we've experienced before when we think about them in the moment of now. Let me say that again because it's kind of important. When you recall memories from the past, you can see them in different kinds of ways. And when you reimagine them in different kinds of ways, it can change the way you feel about them. Same with sounds. You know, when you recall a memory from the past, there's probably going to be some sounds attached to it. Not always, but very often there is. The sounds could have been of other people's voices. Maybe they sounded rude or aggressive. If you change the way that sounds, it will change the way you feel about it. If you turn down the volume so that you don't hear them so much, or turn up the pitch so that they become squeaky and sound ridiculous, then it will change the way you feel about that old memory. That would be part of your hearing code. With your feeling code, there's probably particular feelings that you get in your body when you recall that old memory. Maybe it's like a compression in your head, like your brain is getting squished. Maybe it's like a flutteriness in your chest or a churning in your stomach. There's all sorts of different feelings that we might experience in our body as a result of recalling an old memory from the past. So what we're going to start to do is change the way those feelings work. If you notice that in your tummy you get like a churning round and round sensation, notice what happens if you spin it in the other direction, or if you keep it still, or if you, I don't know, explode it, or something, whatever else you might want to do. So you can start to take control over your physical sensations in your body just by thinking about them in a different way. That would be some of your coding for feelings. Obviously we've got smells and tastes. Kind of depends on what the memory was as to whether or not those are going to be important. If your bad memory is related to some kind of communication or encounter with others, the chances are the smells and tastes aren't all that important. If your bad memory was about throwing up, maybe they would be. But here's what you're going to do. You are going to write down all of the code that you can think of about how you saw that thing, so stuff that you noticed, what you could hear about that bad memory, what feelings you had about that bad memory, and if it's important, then the smells and tastes that went with that bad memory as well. Once you've got a list down, and I will give you some suggestions as to what might be on your list, then what you're going to do next is change it. Because here's the thing, that bad memory from the past is not happening anymore. The only place it now exists is in your head. And that means that you have got the power to make it work differently. So if you saw it in black and white, change it to colour. If you saw it in colour, change it to black and white. You're just going to do the opposite. If it was far away, move it nearer. If it was near, move it further away. Now when you do these things, some things might make it feel worse because, you know, we're just testing stuff out here. I don't know what the right code is going to be for you. So you need to be open to being playful and testing out different ways of doing things. But the most important thing is that you figure out what works for you. And it might not be the same code for a different memory. The next memory you might need to work it in a slightly different way. So we've got black and white or colour, near or far, is it bright or dim? Does it have a picture frame around that memory as you remember it now? If you put one on it, it's probably going to change it. It's going to make it seem a little bit different these days. Is it a movie or a photograph? Is it 3D? Is it flat? What does it sound like? Is the volume high, low, soft? Can we change that? Is the pitch high, low, normal? Can we change that? What about where the sound is coming from? What about if the sound goes off in a different direction? What does that do to the sound? What about if we slow it right down or speed it up or put pauses in? What difference can that make for you? With those feelings, can we move it to a different place in your body? What happens if you move it up to your shoulder, down your arm, to the tip of your finger and flick it away? Can we do that with it? Could we change the colour of the feeling? Like if the feeling had a colour, what colour would it be? What happens if you change the colour of the feeling? Does it make you feel differently about that old bad memory? Now here's the thing, here's what this will do for you. When you start to change your old memories from the past, they stop getting in the way of what you're doing next in the future. They lose their power. And that's the most important thing. The other important thing that can happen is that you can begin to take some learning from those old bad memories. So that instead of them just kind of sitting there like a rotten old apple, just fermenting and going mouldy, you can look at them in a different way and go, well, maybe there is something useful for me to take out of what happened there. Maybe it tells me how to keep myself safer in the future. Maybe this old bad memory is going to tell me how to engage and interact with people differently in the future. Maybe this old bad memory is now going to give me a reminder to be braver about things in the future. Once you have changed how the memory works for you, you've changed that coding, you've gotten rid of the bad feelings associated to it, the next really important thing is you wonder, what did it teach me? What can I take from that? Because that's when it starts to serve you in a positive way instead. If you can take good meaning from bad situations, then that really prepares you for some of the good stuff that's going to come up next in your life. It sends out a signal to the rest of the world that you are one of those people who can be mature in your thinking and who can turn bad stuff around and make them into good things. There's a saying that every cloud has a silver lining, and really all that's saying is that every bad thing has, like the silver lining, the potential for it to be positive and useful to us in some way. So it's important that we take those bad events and flip them over to see, okay, what's on the underside of it and what good thing might there be hiding in there that I can use. If nothing else, the positive that you can take is, I don't know what the positive is yet, but one day I will. One day it will come to me. I will find a way in which this old event will serve me in the future. This is setting me up for even better things in my life. So that's what I am tasking you to do between now and when I next see you. Keep practicing with changing that coding. When you have changed the coding, begin to change the meaning that the old event have by giving it something better that serves you for your future, so that it starts to have that silver lining effect on you. And do that consistently with bad stuff that happens as quickly as possible after it happening, so that it doesn't take up time in your life, causing you to experience long periods of negativity when you didn't need to. Nip them in the bud. You get something bad happening, change the code on it, take some good meaning, move on with your life. Don't let yourself fall into a habit of festering on bad things for too long, just because, you know, it feels a little bit good sometimes in a weird sort of way to feel bad about things. Maybe it draws in a little bit of attention from other people, or it makes you feel as if, you know, you're kind of like caring for yourself in some way by going, isn't life so bad for all of us? There are better ways to be able to connect with yourself and to connect with other people, and you will feel better and they will feel better if you do it from a place of positivity rather than from a place of negativity and wanting to sort of tap into old bad feelings that you don't need to have. I want to see you with smiles on your faces throughout the festive period, if I happen to see you, but I will see you, or you will see me. You will see me. You will see me again in 1 month's time when I speak to you next month about whatever it is we'll be talking about next month. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. If you did not already subscribe to this channel, make sure you do so by hitting that red subscribe button and clicking the notifications bell so that you get notified the next time I upload a video. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!